Since the dawn of mankind, humans have gazed at the stars and asked themselves questions as the stars gazed back. Why are we here? Are we alone? How will it all end? However, out of all the questions man has asked over the millennia, there remains one that trumps all others. What if a nasally online web animator started a podcast where he shot the shit with a guest for an hour or two while you sat there with your gut hanging out? While most of man's questions remain unanswered, I do have an answer for that last one, right now.
Schmucks. Welcome to the Schmucks podcast, episode 1, called "This gets pulled from YouTube and John's career gets ruined in one episode, all in 5 minutes." Called the first episode. My first guest here is Jon Jafari. For those who don't know,
Go on.
He's Jontron online. You've been at it for a couple years now. When did you start this whole deal? In 2010?
I started in 2010 as a boy. As a young boy of 20. A young, stupid boy of 20 in my mom's house.
And what did that first couple of videos consist of? Give us a sneak peek.
Well, I started
recreate it for us.
Listen, I don't want to get too into how I started off as kind of a prophet there, but I was really hitting the heart. I was hitting truth to power.
Daikana review is not. Are you saying it's not going to go in the library next to Star Wars?
I was hitting truth to power right off the bat with my Daikatana. I believe it was part 1.
It was part 1.
Daikatana review
P2
part
the sequel
1
wasn't very good. P1, I mean, the critics were raving over the background noise that sounded like this. I love the first episode where you go, "Hey guys, it's me, Jontron," and then that was when I said, "Whoa, what's this?"
You sure you didn't like when I did the slow panning shot and said directed, written, produced, and edited by Jon Jafari in fucking Comic Sans?
Yeah, written by Psychic Pebbles, directed by, animated by, executive produced by, as if some Hollywood buff is looking there going, "Wow, whoa!" As the credits roll in, his eyes widen more and more.
He's like that Indian man who had a stroke on live television. I don't know why I brought it there.
Yeah, no, just like that man who died, and he went, "Oh," and people went, "What? Is this a joke?" And he went, "Oh, my heart, my lungs. Is this death? Is
Every
this
time we
blackness after
do a
this? Is it
podcast.
static?"
Your podcast is off to a great start. I'm really honored to be the first guest to christen this. I'm you're basically breaking me. I'm the proverbial champagne bottle you're smashing on the side of the ship that is your podcast.
I'm gonna pop you're popping my podcast cherry. By the way,
I'm popping your.
If you like this so far, it's just for 3 more hours or whatever.
Or however long one of us puts up with this.
One of us is gonna have a fucking panic attack and leave. That's how it's gonna end. I'll tell you what.
I'm already having a panic attack.
Go on.
No,
I just wanted to say really quick to get back on the rails. For the few of you who don't know, John does online game review stuff. You ever seen that man who says this is a poop load of fuck? Well, John is actually one of the few funny ones in my opinion. That's just my humble opinion.
Well, thank you, Zachary.
Yes.
You yourself are a clown of highest status.
Clown Robbery, my classic, my magnum opus.
No, not just Clown Robbery, the classic animated cartoon. I mean you as a man who makes the public laugh. A clown, essentially. That's what we really are. That's what we are.
Are you talking
We're
about a
upgraded
Jontron
clowns.
Christmas Tale where all the comments said, "This wasn't funny. Why did you collaborate with Zach? This sucks." Easily one of your worst videos. I dislike this video. Are you talking about that classic that we collaborated on?
I can tell John's style has shifted.
I could tell.
John
this is not
seems
John's
sad.
style. Something is wrong. Something is off.
I can see something wrong and sad and gone in John's eyes.
Can I say? I click on your videos and I see the top comment wow, this is okay, but John looks dead in the eyes. I'm just like,
yeah, there's so many of them that say that, and I'm like, I don't know how to look less dead. That's my eyes. That's what me eyes look like, boss.
That's what my eyes were born in like. When me Papa look at me, he said, when you came out, your dad said, "Hey, is he supposed to look like this? He looks a little dead in the eyes." Your dad was the first YouTube commenter.
He doesn't look like he did. He didn't look like he did in the what do they call that thing?
Your dad pulled you out and said, he doesn't look like he did in Game Grumps. Something's wrong, doctor. Put him back. Something's wrong. Something's going on.
It's funny. It's funny because I guess in my older videos I was a little bit more. There was less restriction back then on what I could do because it was less of a production. So maybe that's what people are picking up on. But I guarantee you,
it's also shorter bursts. Like you used to not. I can imagine you used to not do very many takes and stuff too, right?
I don't really. I think I just got more. As you work in this industry, you get more professional, I guess, because like there's certain things it's kind of like when you've been making cars for a long time, you automate certain parts of the process that were like special or before, like
you ain't building the fucking dashboard by hand anymore. A little boy
yeah,
in
exactly.
or a machine does that.
I guess it's like nowadays when they program a game, they have like, like they use like what do you call that? Like what do they call it? A UI, not a UI, right? No. An API, whatever they
I don't
use.
know. It's whizzing over my head.
It's like when they code a game in Unity now, because it's like all the or like Unreal Engine. They like have all the parts there because they don't want to build it from scratch each time. I guess that's kind of like the way it is for comedy videos too, because there's certain parts you don't want to think about every single time. You're like, well, this guy got it down to a formula.
Yeah.
So
actually, that's something I want to talk to you about a little bit.
Yeah.
You made the bold decision. A lot of guys who do what you do tend to have there's nothing wrong with this, but they tend to be in a corner of the room with the wall behind them with the plushie, the Mario plushies, and the 1-Up plushie, and that's fine. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, you guys always talk about this.
But no beef there. I'm just saying.
You asked me why I don't have a 1-Up plushie in my background.
I'm saying why doesn't Jon? Where'd the 1-Up plushie go? But you made the choice to go to a set. You have like a set now.
Right. Yes, I do.
And some people were cold to that, and
yeah, I can understand why.
I actually think, I wasn't sure about it at first either, but I think actually your fans have even kind of, the ones who were a little bit skeptical for it, kind of cooled down.
Yeah.
It separates you, I think.
I guess the reason I did it was there's a couple reasons. One, it's not very feasible to make a production in your house that goes beyond certain means. Like, you can see there's lots of messy stuff we do, and I couldn't really do it in a place that I owned, especially, neighbors too. You can't have a crew in there. You can't put lights in there. So, I mean, it's not feasible to film out of your house. Nobody does business out of their house on a large scale. So we had to move out. So, a set also, it's like all television shows are on sets. Nobody complains about those. I don't know why mine, I guess it's just because YouTube is supposed to be more authentic. But, I mean, it's still authentic.
Well, it's still you doing everything. Like, I wrote a few episodes with you. I see how the process goes. It's literally you at the end of the day doing almost all the fucking work. Even the editing, things like that. You're still the one like doing the basic. You're still directing everything. You're still.
I have an editor. Yeah, I direct everything. I have an editor, but I always have to do. I always do the final edit. Because I don't know. I just feel like I want to put my finishing touch. Make sure it's it's the Jontron seal of quality. I don't know what you want to say, but like. I always feel like putting the loving touches on it or is the stuff that makes the difference in the long run. Or I don't know, but...
No, I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. I mean, again, it does. I think it separates you. There's nobody else like doing what you do. I mean, there are some guys...
I guess so.
Like the Red Letter Media guys have a set and they do good stuff, but it's not...
Oh, they're the best.
They're
the best.
But my point is, it's a little bit... They were the only two guys who also have a set, but even then there's a big difference between how you guys present your stuff.
I will say, Red Letter Media, I envy them a lot. Not envy them. I
admire.
I admire them a lot because well, they just have a really great thing going on. They do because what got me into this was kind of like a love of film to begin with, and it wasn't really feasible back in the day to sit down and review film seriously and get ahead with it. So I kind of just did this weird funny game review thing that was working with Angry Video Game Nerd, Nostalgia Critic, and stuff like that. So, excuse me, I have demons in me throat. Why am I getting? It's probably because I'm by old pants right now. I'm around old pants, and I think they're getting into me.
Yeah. Okay. So explain what you just said because you sound like a fucking schizophrenic man with zero context. I don't know.
Well,
covered in old pants right now. Go ahead and.
Well, you see, I'm sitting here in a circle with old pants to dull the sound for the microphone, and the old pants I believe are
screams.
I believe they are emanating particles of dust into my lungs and causing me to have a mucus reaction.
This fucking psycho is in a closet. The things I do for love, as a purple dog once said.
There's a couple candles in here. A shrine to Carrie Fisher. Oh God,
Whoa.
too soon.
Whoa! Can I just say real quick? That was also.
I think I meant to say Jodie Foster, not Carrie Fisher.
Well, she's fresh on your mind. I
Oh,
just
she
want to
sure
say
is.
it
She's
was a
fresh
bad
in the
taste.
ground, dude.
I know what you meant. I want to say also, John and I had a bonding moment where I called him the day that happened, and he said, "Oh yeah, I heard Carrie." I said, "You know she's gonna die," and he says, "What?" And I don't like being the bearer of bad news, but nobody knew that her heart had stopped for like 15 or 20 minutes, and I was like,
Yeah,
"Dude,
yeah, you told me that.
I was like, she's brain dead. Like I wasn't like enjoying it, but everybody was like getting hopeful. I was like,
You sure you weren't enjoying that Princess Leia brain dead story?
Jesus fucking.
you weren't sitting there like lapping that up.
I wasn't getting a huge enjoyment out of Princess Leia Brain Dead Real Life 2017. Please look, real video. Click inside. Wasn't getting a huge rush out of that, but yeah, no, you were a hopeful boy on Christmas, and I said Santa's not real.
Oh yeah, you did bum me out pretty hard with that, and then also.
But you have to admit, you were prepared when she died a couple days later. You were like, well,
Yeah, I didn't have the negative. I didn't have the reaction everybody else did because you told me she was dead.
I'm not laughing at the fact that Princess Leia is brain dead. I'm just laughing at the fact that the.
Listen, if the
shot
death
was
happens
made.
in 2 steps, George might. Sorry, I'm fucking.
Step
why is
one,
my-
you inhale old pants. Step two, you're found dead the next day.
I think I'm getting an allergic reaction to stuff around me. Anyways, I don't want to sound like a dying
Luckily, we're all
leper.
different.
Let me get a
I'm
tissue.
gonna-
God damn it!
I'm gonna add a heart monitor sound effect in the background.
Do you ever worry as you're moving around that you'll hit your head on something?
You ever worry that you're gonna slip and smash your brainstem on a counter? You ever think about that?
Yeah. When George Michael died, isn't it funny that his song is called Last Christmas? That fucked me up. That fucked up my Christmas.
I was watching that a couple of days before, like the day before he fucking went to the hospital.
Yeah, we were-
I was like, whoa, dude, whoa,
we
fucking
were listening
nuts.
to. Why did he die?
His fucking brain stopped. The electricity in
No,
his
really.
brain ceased.
Was he a drug addict or something?
Let's see. I think he inhaled one big aid. Let me look. George Michael. They couldn't figure out what he was dead from. There you go, folks.
That's a shame. Well, if you can find out what he's dead from, please let us know.
Please tweet at us very violently.
with
yeah.
George Michael hashtag at least 3 times.
Say this is real. Yeah, George Michael. Say this is real. This is what his death is from.
Show please a couple autopsy photos.
Please go to celebrity-autopsyphoto.com. Show me the inside of JFK's head.
Oh God,
you seen
is
those-
that a real picture, by the way?
Yeah, it's fucking that's an upsetting picture. By the way, that's a.
Is that a real? That's a real picture.
It's never been debunked from what I know.
It's a pretty fucked up picture.
It's fucking disgusting. That whole website.
I've never
has-
actually clicked it. Huh?
What's that?
I never actually clicked it, but I've seen like thumbnails of that JFK on the autopsy table photo. It upsets me.
I think it's real. He got fucked up, man.
You could say that again.
He got a little owie. Okay.
he
How did we get onto this? What
I don't know. We're
derailed
talking
us?
about. Oh, I think I said I had a shrine to Carrie Fisher in my basement, in my closet.
So Carrie Fisher, JFK's brain hole. What were you talking about?
JFK's brain hole.
Oh yeah, Mario plushies. Let's go back to that. Let's
Mario Party.
Mario Party.
Mario Run, the new great app on App Store.
Please
It
don't-
features 100% of new enemy Goomba,
Goomba, Big Mushroom.
Goomba, Koopa, Mushroom, and Bowser.
And
This is a very new game, 100% new.
and it's only $10 per 1 second to every walk. In the words of the nerd, what were they thinking?
Wow.
You ever see Gamedude? Angry Gamedude?
He is the game dude.
Yeah, dude.
He is so rude.
In the nerds of the
he
word,
is
what
a
were they
gamer with a
thinking?
bad attitude. Oh yeah, does he say that?
Yeah. Is he dead? What happened to that guy? Is he a brain
Yeah,
hole?
what the fuck? Who is Game Dude? Where is he from? Why? Where did he go? He straight up was like, fuck this shit. He saw what happened to Chris Boris. He said, fuck this shit, I'm out. And he just bailed
Chris
from
Boris
the
has
scene.
fucking completely destroyed his channel and made it a ghost hunting channel now. Do you know that?
Listen, when Chris Boris isn't posting about Jew Warriors fucking not going
What
to
the
heaven.
fuck was... Okay, so people who...
Did you ever see that? I feel like this is worth talking about.
Yeah, no, please, John, you take it away because the people that you...
So Chris Chris Boris, fucking irate gamer. If you don't know him, it's a great. Just look it up. You'll be very impressed. My favorite is his deleted soy milk review. Be on the lookout for that one. Maybe somebody reposted that bad boy.
You're gonna wonder why I took it down.
You're gonna say we should have posted this one twice. Anyways, so Jew Wario, if you don't know him, he was a person from Channel Awesome. He did like reviews. He had a show called You Can Play This, where he reviewed like Japanese import games that you could play or whatever. He spoke Japanese, I think. And then he killed himself. It was a big tragic debacle. This was a couple years back. 3 years back. And I don't know how many people know this, but I find it to be so bizarre. I actually don't know how many people. I might be like uncovering this for a lot of people, but the irate gamer, like I don't know how many people even know, about this intersection of people, the Chris Boris Jew Wario lexicon. But anyways, so yeah, he posted on I think it was the announcement or somebody had announced Jew Wario's passing, and he posted on a Facebook post that was like, "It is tragic to lose a life in this community of YouTube gamers, but I am not looking forward to what Jew Wario awaits burning in hell for committing suicide."
No, the universe does not take kindly to what he did. Basically, was the gist.
The universe does not take kindly to those who take their lives.
It was a weird implication that he's burning in hell. It was really not too subtle though. There's no nuance.
Oh man, just some shit you could only see on the weird side of YouTube. Oh man,
Are you saying the creator of Deleted Soy Milk Review believes a man is burning in hell from suicide? Is that the gist of what you were telling me, John?
I don't know. He goes around looking for ghosts. What's wrong? No, anyways, it's kind of a fucked up story, but it's just so ridiculous.
It's fucking bizarre. It was just so left field because he's just like this pink funny man who does the reviews. Who talks about Aladdin in Abu in the Aladdin Genesis game. No, I think he's just really religious, but anyways. So we can segue to a few. We can take this fork and we can go a few different ways. I guess my question to you, interestingly, would be, I don't know why I said interestingly, it's not fucking interesting. But my question to you, John, would be, as a reviewer, kind of going back to you're one of the guys who kind of broke format a little bit. What are your thoughts on the whole reviewing aspect of YouTube now? Because I'll say this, I've seen plenty of Jontron knockoffs, and I don't know. I mean, I'm not asking you to name anybody or call anybody out, but what do you kind of think of that, of the community as a whole in terms of that?
I mean, I think as the whole knockoff thing, I mean, I was considered a knockoff of AVGN when I started, and that whole paradigm has shifted. I don't even think there is such a thing anymore. Like, I think YouTube has even progressed past this review thing that was really popular back in the late 2000s, early 2010 era. That was just the thing to do. Like, nobody had been doing that kind of stuff besides AVGN and a couple other people. And we're past that. I mean, we've seen like the influx of YouTubers like, Ethan and Gila, like H3H3. Yeah, our beautiful. Love ya. Yeah. Love ya, guys. Love ya.
Gosh bless.
Miss ya every day. I have a shrine to you and Carrie Fisher in my closet.
Hopefully that's not indicative of anything.
Oh, nothing at all. No, but seriously, they came in with their sort of, it started off as kind of a reaction channel, which is sort of a play off the review thing, but it's different, fundamentally. And then they kind of morphed it into this newer kind of just variety show type thing. And, PewDiePie has been doing more of that stuff, and you got like people like iDub. So we're sort of past this reviewer paradigm. I don't even know that it's so oversaturated, and I don't think anybody can even really get into that sphere anymore. Nobody's interested in that anymore. It's just kind of a phase that's passed.
It evolved, yeah.
It did evolve, yeah. I mean, at first, basically...
It's all like top 10 things now, dude.
Yeah, that's the thing. You see, it was never about the review of the game. It was about the people liked watching like their people that they thought were interesting personalities, kind of in a new setting on the internet. And it's like, oh, when somebody and it's only you who knows it. It's kind of edgy, right? It's like, that's why it's funny. Every YouTube channel that starts off, they always have this core fan base that gets pissed off at a certain point. I went through this too, when they kind of feel that you surpassed a certain level of popularity. They get sort of like,
well, they root you on until you get popular, and then they want to see you fucking fall, and they But
It's weird how that works.
You survived the, because I also feel like you brought up a couple of guys earlier that you sort of were writing the not off their coattails, but sort of you jumped there at the perfect time when they were popular, like guys like Nostalgia Critic and
Yeah,
Doug
yeah.
Walker,
Actually, they were
James
kind.
Rolfe.
I jumped in when AVGN took kind of a lull, and that's I thought of. I remember I always looked at YouTube channels as more of a philosophy than anything. Like I have a certain philosophy of the way I make stuff. It's not. I don't think it's ever been about the reviews themselves. Maybe a little bit. Maybe some channels more than others. I've never really been like super. I've never been a true critic in that sense. I just try to make comedy out of stuff.
No, you're.
I don't know if it's successful.
You're a comedian who kind of just fell into that thing. I mean, that's
Yeah.
actually. Again, if you were gonna make a criticism, or not even a criticism, but if you were really gonna analyze the sort of first generation guys like Doug Walker and James Rolfe, who I watched sort of back when they were doing stuff.
Yeah.
They really when they've tried to break format, they've gotten a lot of shit for it. Like Doug Walker specifically got
Yeah.
a bunch of fucking backlash when he stopped the Soldier Critic.
Yeah.
And I think what you did
see,
that
that's
was
the-
smart was that you have a transferable sort of personality. Like for example,
Yeah.
when you did Game Grumps or when you do
Well, I
skit-
appreciate
you
you saying that.
You know what I mean though. You get the gist of
No,
what-
I appreciate that. I mean, that's what I go for. I mean, I want to be. I don't want to be locked down into any like format or show or a routine. I just want to. I want to be myself. The comedian
especially when
first.
those formats have been shown to be really fucking volatile. And like that Leafy
Yeah,
guy,
they can be
Leafy's
volatile.
fucking channel's basically dead by now.
Oh yeah, what's Leafy up to? I haven't heard from him in forever.
He got really popular, I would say, about a year ago. Right?
No, I mean I remember, but
No,
I
no,
mean like I haven't heard
my
of.
point is, I mean, so he got popular around when that whole Ethan thing happened, and then back when I was in New York, right around that time when I moved to New York
Yeah.
a year ago.
Is that when?
Yeah, because that's when the whole Ethan thing happened. I was there for that. But so that right on, and then like when iDubbbz made that video probably 3 or 4 months ago, his channel took a big hit, and then I think a couple other people made videos, and it's like he went from getting like 100 million views a month to like 10 or 15. He was making
Let's
like
see, I'm gonna look at his
I mean,
new videos.
he's still doing. Yeah, look at his social plate. I mean, he's not doing. He's still doing like.
Oh
living
my
anyway,
God,
but
his stats are tanked.
they're the worst they've been since 2015, I think.
His stats are like sub 1 million, and I remember for a while there he was getting all these sorts of crazy views.
He's been
Yeah,
bleeding out subscribers for like the last 6 months consecutively, or 3 or 4 months.
That's crazy. Well, see, that's why whenever people come to me and they talk about this guy is falling with that kind of stuff, I'm like, fads come and go. The thing that always reigns out in the end is, well, quality will speak for itself. The best you can do is aim for quality. Because, like, who forgets something that's good in the long run? Like, is anybody forgetting? I'm not comparing myself to this or anything. I'm just saying, in as a general rule. Does anyone, forget Spirited Away by Hayao Miyazaki? No one's going to be like, where's the new Spirited Away video? It's like a classic,
There's two big ways of, and I actually got to give you credit for this too. There's two sort of
Well, thanks, Zach.
Hey, look, I mean it. Look, I'll tell you why. Look, there's two ways in my mind of making YouTube content. There's the one way of just kind of throwing shit at the wall until one of those like 10 videos sticks and does well, or sort of accumulating views. Every video gets
Yeah.
50,000 views or whatever, and that just sort of pays your bills. That's one way to do it. That's
Right,
a popular
right.
way.
Some people do
And then-
that, yeah.
And then there's the way of doing videos once every 2 or 3 weeks, but they're good and they put a lot of quality into them. And honestly, not that many people do that and make a living off of it. And that's why I got to give you kudos, because it's really easy to fall into the fucking disposable
Yeah.
content. Hell,
well, no,
I'm fucking
I
doing it.
appreciate that. No, I mean you're like that too, though. I think there's like, and I'm not. This isn't to say there isn't an in between. Like Ethan and Gila put out quality content like a lot. I envy them. I've always envied them for that. I don't know how they do it. I'm a slow burn kind of guy. I won't tell you it's easy. It's like if I have to make one, I have to make at least one thing per month most months, and it doesn't leave much time for breaks. And people are always saying like, "Whoa, why don't you put stuff out?" I'm like, I'm trying. Don't
dude,
beat me, Father.
I like I said. So for those who don't know, I was in New York. I lived in New York with John and Ethan from last January, a year ago, to March of last year. And I got a little glimpse, a little window of that world, and it's fucking stressful, dude. I don't know how you
It's more stressful than you might
are literally
imagine.
doing shit. I'm not just covering your ass. Like I mean this genuinely.
Yeah.
You were doing shit constantly. Like you were constantly
Yeah.
setting up shit. If you didn't have assistants or people to help you out, you'd be dead.
No, there's no way to do it.
No.
There's no way to do it. And sometimes it takes a toll on my health, or like I'm just like there's just times when it's like you don't want to be funny. Some people. I find that there's like a couple different types of people. Some people are like infinitely passionate about what they do. I'm a guy who goes in waves. Like I'll find one thing to be passionate.
You got finite passion, is what you're saying.
I guess.
You got some
Well,
finite passion.
No, it's not quite that. I get interested in things in bursts. Like I'm a bit of a jack of all trades in a sense. So like, but obviously I have the channel that's a certain thing, and I have to keep. So I try to keep putting myself into it in the same but slightly different way to keep myself interested. Because if I'm interested, the audience will be, so on. But like, sometimes I just get interested in like researching like the history of Rome, like things that have nothing to do with reviewing video games.
I
So
think
I
it's
don't
a
have
good
like
trait to have. It's a good. I'm the same way. Like in terms of, and I think people get mad at me sometimes. Like, why the fuck do you pretend to you know history? It's like I don't know history. I have a weird autistic fascination with some like small parts of it, and then I'll go deep. And then I find it fascinating.
No, it's actually funny. This is something me and you have bonded over many times. Like we talk about like like World War II era history, and I don't know. There's something about history. I've always considered myself somewhat of a history buff. Maybe not so much when I was in school, but like when I got older, I just find history interesting because you can find patterns or echoes to the modern day, and you can sort of sort out like how things have risen and fell. And it comes in waves.
Well,
and,
history never ends in it for the most part. Like things like ISIS are around because of the fucking Ottoman Empire collapsing. That's a direct cause and effect.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, if you understand history, you can. Well, they say those who don't understand history are doomed to repeat it. There's a lot of truth to that statement. Actually, it is weird. I remember watching when they were doing the Oculus keynote for the Oculus Rift and virtual reality. One of the guys I forgot who it was. It was it's like one of their leading scientists was talking about how like history is not necessarily like we can change history, we can decide the course of history, but it will not necessarily go one way or the other. There's no like set path, and it's kind of interesting. You wonder like how much agency do we have over these changes?
I feel like very little because I feel like humans reset sort of every 2 generations or so. You know what I mean? Like I feel
Seems that way.
Like even from like life to life, like a baby has to relearn not to fucking to put its hand on the stove and not do crazy drugs and drive fast when you know what I mean? Like so
it's all a bit tiring to think about, isn't it? Just like it's like a house, right? You clean it up. You're like, it's perfect, and then you have a party and it gets dirty again, and you're like, I gotta fucking clean it again. It's like, I gotta train new babies not to fucking ruin Western civilization again.
What fucking freaks me out is like not on an individual human basis, yeah, but stuff like wars, like people. If you were just coming off the end of World War II.
Yeah.
You'd be like, dude, I genuinely never want to fucking do this again. My house is
oh yeah, definitely
shit. And now people are like, whatever, I'd go to a fucking war. I'd be on the front lines, dude. It's like, dude.
Oh, I know.
You have to keep
it's
fucking
funny.
relearning.
No, it's funny. The Great War, World War I. The reason Neville Chamberlain capitulated to Adolf Hitler, as you know, is because he was afraid of getting into another world war.
Yeah,
so, because they just came off that war and they had so much guilt over it that they were like, never again. This is the war to end all wars. We'll never have war again. And then this fucking capitulated until it ended up in being the biggest conflict in human history. So it's like, it is funny how now we've been. They call it the long peace since the end of World War II to now. There hasn't been any conflict between 2 major world powers. It's only been civil war.
I think it's going to happen in our lifetime. I'm not a psycho.
Ah!
My view.
You really think so?
I'll say this right now. My real view is that if NATO falls, we're going to see a European war in our lifetime for sure. I really believe that. Let me sort of add like a little bit of an edit to my statement there. I think that'll happen, but so there's 2 parts to that statement. Number 1, if NATO falls, it's like a code, right, for a video game. If NATO falls, then I think we'll have a European war. But I also don't think we're gonna have a nuclear war. I'm also not saying we're gonna have like a big nuclear war. I don't think we'll ever go that far. I think the only way a nuclear war can happen today is if we had like an accident or a nuclear terrorism or something, or just some sort of weird mishap. But I really don't believe secular, for the most part, secular Western civilizations would purposely start a nuclear war. I don't believe that.
We might even go to war under the treaty of no nukes. Like, okay, we're gonna go to war, but no nukes.
And that has
just a regular war.
Well, then that has all of its own problems too, because like, imagine if Hitler had nukes at the end of the war. At the end of the war,
we wouldn't be here.
Well, we wouldn't have gone into fucking Berlin, because he's going, well, I'm gonna blow my goddamn brains out anyways. Why don't I just nuke these fuckers? So you can't so. That's also my biggest fear with North Korea, right? Not that, if they start a war, whatever, we can beat them. Like, we have the resources to do that. But we can't close in and fucking capture Pyongyang, because he's just going to fucking shoot off the nukes and blow his brains out.
Right, yeah. They're I think that's the reason. This is just obvious, I think. There's pretty much no other reason that things have ground to the breaking point that they have now in 2017, but in previous 2016, the current year, because we have just been fighting off the thought of World War III, just pushing it like, no, we can't, just nothing that even could spark or think about World War III, just push it away, like, because we know, like, we've basically just been trying to stave off that final of conflicts, but I don't know. It's definitely closer now than it's been since at least the Cold War.
I feel like the fact that everybody doesn't want it to happen is making the other party sort of push further, because everyone thinks the other guy is bluffing. So you're going, okay,
so.
You don't think I'm going to do it? Fine, I'll drop a fucking tactical nuke. Oh, you think I do that?
Well, okay.
We drop it in the field somewhere. We freak somebody out.
I'll be naive and ask you honestly, you don't believe a word of Vladimir Putin when he says he wants peace with the United States?
I believe he does, but I also believe that his biggest goal beyond peace with the U.S. is NATO coming apart. Now, you could argue pretty easily, in fact, that Russia feels threatened because NATO is expanding. At the same time, when people say NATO is expanding, it's only expanding as much as people are applying for it. It's not like NATO's gobbling up countries. We're not invading countries. Fucking scared neighbors are applying to NATO because they want to be protected. They don't want to be. They see what's happening in Ukraine.
They don't want to be annexed.
They don't want their territory fucking annexed. They don't want to be Georgia or Ukraine.
Well, I guess so. What is Russia's ulterior motive in dismantling NATO? Is what, just so they don't have to feel like they could be attacked at the slightest?
Right. Yeah, they don't have to feel like if they drop a fucking twig that they're going to start World War III.
I mean, I guess imagine had we been Russia, like, I guess it's true. Like, imagine, like, you'll feel cornered. Like, you're like, I can't do anything to anybody, no matter what, even if they're being unjust to me.
Well, you could also argue that the threat of World War III,
I'm going to storm into Paris and rip up that Treaty of Versailles.
Flag. Nice flag, idiots.
Yeah.
But
nice flag. What is it? Nice flag. Couple of stripes and stars.
Real fucking
Try
genius.
this one. Hammer and sickle. What is even the hammer and sickle? Is that anvils and shucking corn? Great flag, Russia.
It's about fucking cutting down crops and the working boy. The working Russian boy who looks like a 30-year-old woman.
There was this big ad in Times Square where it was like, communism kills, total deaths from communism, 100 million. And it had this big infographic. It was really like well done. And I was like, what the hell? Who's just like, I need to educate about communism?
You're fucking 30 years too late there, dude. You're really putting it to all those 6,000 Cubans who're not going to see this.
Yeah. It's crazy how see, that's the weird thing, right? So there's two kinds of Western nations, European nations, and you can consider the United States, Australia, and Canada as extensions. Yeah, New Zealand. You can consider these as extensions. There seem to be two kinds primarily. One, the Western democracies like, or the republics. I don't know what you would call them. Like whatever a democratic republic. What do we have? What do we call this? Capitalism?
Oligarchy, John. Get used to
oligarchy. It. Well, nowadays I guess it is. I don't know. I don't know. Nowadays
I'm doing a new documentary, but how wrong you are, John.
I know people. Whenever people like, it's actually classified as an oligarch. I'm doing
a little documentary called "The United States of Oligarchy." It's called "The United States of Money," and there's dollar bills where the stars used to be.
Don't you love those documentaries where it's like fucking Noam Chomsky with like at 8K resolution all the way up in his face, and he's like, "The American government is coming for a collapse. We'll see it in the next 20 years." Everybody always tries to bring these things back to macro or microeconomics when it's like never been about that. The culture is more important than the economics, because when you look into the economics is based. I mean, economics of course are important. It's not like it's obviously a real thing, but.
You have to have people who believe a certain way, who believe that you could that anybody.
Yeah,
can
yeah,
be
it's a belief,
basically.
Yeah, all the economy is just a set of projected. It's a set of projected beliefs. Really, it's what it is. Like to keep to people. Like I never really liked these weird arguments like the government just wants to keep you enslaved. I'm like, no, come on, it's not. It's ridiculous. But like, you know, an economic system is just a set of beliefs held by many people that like this system won't fail. I remember, okay, so this is going to sound ridiculous, but I remember one of my first lessons in economics was when me and my cousins would play Kirby's Air Ride, the GameCube game with Kirby and the Shooting Star spaceship.
Yeah, a real classic in American economics. In fact, I heard Ronald Reagan study that game very closely.
There's a free ride mode where you and like 4 players could go around and just do whatever in a sandbox mode. And we came up with Monopoly money with this economic system where like we would pay each other to do services in the world. It was really dumb, but it was fun. And at the end of the day, I was like, oh, this shit, it's just made up. Like I'm just like, well, if you do that for me, I'll promise you these pieces of paper, and then it keeps. Of course, in a 4-person closed system, it doesn't go very far. But if you extrapolate it, it really is what the economy is.
Wait, hold on 1 second. There's a fucking baby outside my door.
Fucking what? Wait,
I heard
really?
a baby laughing. Unless it's my schizophrenia.
Wait.
Give me 1 second. Let me...
Wait, don't actually. Wait, real quick, Zach. I know this is crazy, but I heard that there's a scheme where people put like baby sounds outside of a door to get you to open it and then rob you.
Don't say that. Don't say
be careful.
that.
Be careful.
Is that real? Are you fucking with
I've heard.
me?
Yeah, that's real. So be careful with that.
Where'd you hear that from?
I don't know. I read it online once. I just don't want you to open the door and get robbed.
They put a baby sound effects? Is it a man making
Yeah,
baby
like
noises, or is it like a boombox?
No, like a boombox.
Oh,
Is it still there?
no, it stopped. Maybe it was my schizophrenia. I think you shut it off.
Okay, it probably was. I just didn't want you to go open the door to baby noises. I've heard that happens.
Yeah, Zach. But you know that's a real good friend. I don't want you to open the door to baby noises. If your friend tells you that, you know you got a good friend on your hands. That's what a real brother in arms says.
Well, I mean, if it's a real baby, then help it. But I didn't want you to just mindlessly
He
open
didn't need
the door.
help. He was having a good time. He was laughing. He wasn't crying. He was laughing at this epic podcast.
I just went full grandpa Facebook infographic fearmonger
You
mode
went full
there.
fucking compressed image of a minion saying, "Don't open the door for baby noises, or you'll get stabbed in the mouth."
Don't sit down on the HIV needle in the theater seat.
If
you ever get those fucking
if you're
nails?
sitting on a bus stop, some guy might run up to you and stab you with an AIDS needle. Be careful. Be careful.
You remember that?
He'll say, "Gotcha."
I just went. He'll be like, God, yeah,
Gotcha.
you should have been careful.
It's a prank.
Don't sit on the bus. That's why you don't sit on the bus. No, but anyways. So besides that,
Besides that,
you know, it's really great that on public transit, you know, they have plastic seating so that any bums that
I almost
vomit
spit
all
out my
over
fucking
will be
drink.
easily clean. Any fucking blood from a bum's neck that gets slit open.
somebody walks
by
by
a nighttime
casually,
murderer.
holds up a knife, and just barely pokes his neck like a camel being drained for the blood.
Oh no, not the camel video, not the camel video.
John, would you weep if you saw a boy laughing and somebody walked up to him and just poked his neck and that happened to him? Would you weep from that?
Am I going to some sort of shock?
No. Here's a real scenario, John. You're at a convention. You're having a good time. You know, some guy says, "I have really bad Asperger's, but please don't look at me in the eyes." And you say, "This is a great time."
Fuck.
You say, "This is swell." And somebody walks up to you and says, "You cut me in line." And they take their nail and they poke him in the neck, and he begins to bleed out. Would you help this boy? What would John try to do?
Oh my god.
There's.
Well, I'd probably try to plug up the wound as best I could till the EMTs got there. Zach, what the fuck is wrong with you, by the way, Zach?
Would you put a Game Grumps sticker on his neck to help?
Zach, what is wrong with you? And I love it. What is wrong with you? And I love it. I was trying to talk about macroeconomics here. You're talking about putting a push pin into an Asperger's boy's neck. We've come far in a couple of years. I'm talking about Reaganomics, trickle down, trickle up, Reaganomics.
I'm talking about boy's neck trickling down. That's all I'm talking about.
You're talking about a boy. You're talking about a boy bleeding out, saying, "Episode 6 of Sonic 06 was my favorite."
Mom, Jontron.
Zach,
You,
we're gonna die this way.
You plug his wound by wrapping his shirt around his neck as a tourniquet that says "Eck" on it with your face as his blood, red as it stains your smile. John, here's one last.
I hope my kids will listen to this.
Here's one last scenario for you. Would you feel good or bad if you saw one of those like Syrian airstrike pictures, but the boy was wearing a Jontron shirt? Would you feel good or bad about that?
What the fuck? Honestly, I don't know what I would.
Can we get an official statement from Jontron?
I think my first thought would be, I don't ship to Syria.
This little Syrian boy is fucking bleeding you out. Maybe he's bleeding out in real life, but he's bleeding your lawn out.
He's bleeding me out.
Because
that'd be my first thought. You get that from Redbubble? You're bleeding out. They're bleeding me out. That's the same joke you said. Thank you, Zach.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good night. Hey, John, let's do it. Live from Saturday's. Wait, how do they say it?
Live from Saturday, York. Saturday, new. Anyways, what were you? We were talking about something real.
Live from Saturday. I have a white van in Times Square. This is a direct threat.
Do you remember that video when ISIS was like, "We are going to come blow up Times Square," and they never fucking did it?
Is there the video where the dude like put a bomb inside his fucking jacket? We cut to him like walking by a Starbucks.
Yeah, and he zipped it up, and then he put on his Tony Danza glasses and went, "Hey, I'm from Brooklyn. Hey, you
It's me. What do you got?
Hey,
Can I have some pepperoni?
Okay, let's get back on track here. What were we saying before all this?
Starrcade.
Oh, you want to talk about Starrcade? Did you want to move it to
Let's
something?
talk about Starrcade a little
Okay.
bit. Yeah, let's talk about it a little bit. For those who don't know, Starrcade was a Jontron offshoot where John sold out big time, lost all credibility.
That was a nightmare. No, you know what's funny though? I've come to really like Starrcade, but it was a weird process to make Starrcade for multiple reasons. And I think it's because everyone who was creating that show had a different idea of what the fuck Starrcade was.
Yeah. It's
I
funny.
can talk about it now, I guess.
I was gonna say you've never actually talked about it. And I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, you want to get the scoop on Starrcade?
Let's get the hot Starrcade scoop.
I won't go into the gory details, but this is basically just so people get maybe if they want to understand what it was. Disney and I'm not supposed to say that, but I don't care. Disney.
Well, it's pretty fucking obvious. I mean.
Yeah. Well, because I want people to understand this. They didn't want me to say this for some reason. I wasn't allowed to say that Disney funded this. But Disney, who bought Maker Studios for like $500 million a couple years back, they merged with Maker, and they had a vertical. They have many verticals, Disney, or whatever you call it. Like they've got partnerships with all sorts of different companies to make all sorts of different licensed stuff, and they wanted to make YouTube Star Wars content for
Force Awakens. They were gonna do a bunch of lead up stuff.
Yeah,
right?
for the Force Awakens, like a lead up for like the entire year of Star Wars. And this was before. This was like I think they came at me like before a year, right? And I was like,
It was February 2015.
And the movie came out in December, right?
Right.
Yeah, but we decided to do it like even like before that, like December or January, right? Must have been, right?
Well, you know what? We started in February. We actually started writing in February. So, yeah, I think it was December or January. You're right.
Well, it was something like that. It was about a year before the movie came out. And I was like, oh, my God, I get to be part of And they were like, we'll build you a Millennium Falcon. We'll build you everything you want, all the sets you want. And I was like, oh, my God, it's a dream come true. And, they were just like, you get to write whatever you want, do whatever you want. And I was like, that's great. Amazing. Fantastic. And I thought, like, it'd be cool because I'm such a big Star Wars fan. I thought it'd be cool to be part of, like, the Star Wars canon in some way. I was like, But then what I didn't realize, this is before Star Wars made its big comeback, and now it's, like, planned 6 million movies for the next 18 years. Everyone started doing Star Wars stuff. Everyone. And I should have been smart to anticipate that, but I was so blinded by the promise of a Millennium Falcon. So basically, I thought I was going to be like the cool kid doing the Star Wars content when it turns out that they had like deals with everyone, which isn't a bad thing because mine was still had a big budget and, it was my writing. So, but you see, at first they wanted more episodes, but then as time went on, they wanted them very quickly.
Also, I should be noted really quickly, just to interject. Tell them how many episodes, because originally I think we ended up doing 9 or 9.
Yeah, they wanted like 32 episodes of this shit or something.
32 episodes of fucking Star Wars jokes.
Yeah, and I didn't realize how set they were on that. So I thought they were kind of going to be flexible just to get it done because it sounded like they just wanted something. I got myself in over my head. It was definitely my fault there. I got myself in over my head, but I was like, I just can't produce this much for you guys.
Well,
it's impossible.
we figured that out after we started writing. We went.
Yeah, we tried.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what the hell we were thinking.
Well,
it's my
but
fault.
in fairness, some
It's
people
my
don't think,
fault.
So people don't think we ripped them off. They also cut the budget accordingly too. So it's not like we got the money and just didn't do the work.
Yeah.
We called. John called and was like, we can't do 32.
Yeah, and they
said okay, and they cut the fucking budget.
Yeah, they cut the budget. They cut all the pay. It was a bit of a fiasco. But we got it done, and we did. But we came. Here's the thing, though. Even though it's ended with less episodes, we had the idea of the start to finish since the very beginning, so it was true to its form. The first 3 episodes are from the first batch, and then the ones leading up to the very end are from the second batch, where I was like, okay, I'm taking full control of this, and we're gonna do it this way. And that's why
the first few was a lot of out of your hands. Like the writing we did, but the editing and like all that stuff was really not your control.
The first 3 episodes of Starrcade weren't really in my direct control. The ones 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, I guess, those were all completely in my control.
4 and 5, if I recall, were kind of in a weird middle ground where you were still kind of. It was sort of a
we had to we had to transition, so it ended up being this really incoherent series of videos that I guess I wouldn't have it any other way. That's the way seems to be the way I operate. But considering that it wasn't a real television show and it was a YouTube show, it didn't fall under the same rules and the same procedures. And they wanted it very quickly. I'm surprised, to be honest with you, that we even got it done at all. We filmed it over 3 months.
It's shocking.
Honestly, is it not shocking that we got that done? And I couldn't do I was bound to do it. I couldn't do anything else.
It's funny when you and I were watching the episodes come out. There was a lot of jokes in there we were both happy with, but
yeah,
some people are just not happy. And fair enough, like I get it.
No, I understood why.
You and I were both
why the fuck did Jontron turn Star Wars for a year?
The whole thing was like kind of relied upon the last episode being good. We were like, holy fuck. And I think that last episode made up for the whole. So even if you didn't enjoy the first 8. I think that last episode definitely made up for the whole series.
Yeah, no, the last episode was the fucking magnum opus of that series. We poured everything we had in that last episode. I basically
and that was
just
down to the wire too. That George Lucas impression from the very,
you were gonna originally do it, and then we got the guy.
We got Pjort Michael, YouTube impressionist, I believe.
He did a wonderful job. I didn't even interact with the guy.
No,
I never even interacted with him.
What happened was, originally the audio of Starrcade of George Lucas was me going, come on, it's me.
Yeah.
And I was like, John, this is funny, but it's kind of like, wouldn't it be better if you're like, yeah, it would be better if it sounded like George Lucas, but what the fuck are we gonna do? We have like 1 day to get this out, and I fucking Googled YouTube search George Lucas impression.
Yeah, and you found the perfect guy.
And I found that guy that I knew his work before. I knew he was an impressionist before. That dude was a fucking trooper, and the whole thing just stitched together fucking beautifully. And the soundtrack was great. Chris
O'Neill did the soundtrack.
Yeah, it was great.
Chris O'Neill did the soundtrack. He helped us write it as well, and he also was present for some of the filming, like in the very last. He was just there because he stopped by, and we what is it? He did the Jar Jar Binks fake game, the fake PS1 game, which a lot of people probably think is real. Yeah, Jar Jar's Jar Jar Jar, I think it was.
Yeah.
Jar 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 Jar. Sick. I actually really like that joke. There's a lot of jokes in Starrcade I love, but Starrcade has this weird vibe to it. It's
uncanny.
What do you mean?
You look like a hostage. Something's wrong. Something's off. Something's going wrong. My brain rejects it.
I honestly don't think most people would notice that.
No.
We just know. So
yeah,
it was definitely an experience. The filming of that was, but in the end, we came away with a good thing there. I think it's one of my most proud videos. The last episode. I would say easily.
And also for real, like the reaction, the fan reaction, the people figuring out who Darth Vader was really cool. Just people were genuinely like, some people fucking really reacted to that. Some people were like, I'm crying. I was like, whoa, dude.
I know. Dude, I had real feels when I made that shit. Because, the Aaron reuniting, of course.
Yeah, no, it was good. And
we
also,
hadn't done a video
the
since...
improv you guys did, which is funny to talk about, what you guys saw, the actual final cut, there was like, you guys riffed for like 20 minutes, I think.
Oh, yeah, and it was so weird. It was just like right back into it.
You kept, it's like there was no hesitation. you kept doing this weird fucking like distressed foreign boy. What did you kept saying something, beating his chest?
Oh, was it like, brief with me,
Yeah, yeah.
brief with me, brief to me, or something?
I was upset you took it out, but I realized it was fucking really strange and like it was bizarre.
Yeah, it was too
I don't
weird.
think people would have accepted that.
Brief to me, papa.
Brief, that's it. Brief to me. Brief to
Brief
me.
to me. Brief
Yeah,
to me.
that was it.
Yeah, I always get weird like that when I'm doing improv, because I just go for it, and it's funny. Like sometimes I watch back at like Game Grumps stuff, and I'm like, what the fuck was I on when I said this? Like we're talking about how I wouldn't have sex with a girl with no eyes, and I'm like, what led to this?
Yeah.
What sparking of neurons led to this fucking madness?
Human evolution led up to this point.
This was what all the fucking
fish avoided getting eaten.
all the wars in Europe led up to this moment.
A Roman soldier looking into a man's eyes as he gets speared to death. So he could pave the way for you to fucking say that on Game Grumps.
God, do you ever think like when you know it's like fucking ancient Rome? I just love how there was a time like 2,500 years ago, before Christ, when they're just like, yeah, we just like this is the apex of civilization. We did it. Nice job, guys.
I mean, if you look at what stuff was like back then, it was like, yeah, you lived in a fucking dirt, but these guys like built giant. They put, like, but I was watching a documentary
Nice.
on that revolving building. You
They had a
know what I'm talking
revolving
about, right?
building?
There was a fucking like Oh God, what is? I feel like a retard right now. I'm gonna look it up.
There's
real
no way they had a revolving building in ancient
quick.
Rome. What are you
No,
talking
it was
about?
revolving. It ran
Like the fucking
underwater.
Sky restaurant in Times
Yes,
Square that
yes,
revolves slowly as you eat
exactly
fucking
like
the
that.
buffet?
Ancient
Are you serious?
revolving building. What is it called?
No
It
such
was,
thing.
It was Emperor Nero. Fucking, he had a revolving dining room.
How? Who? Slaves?
No, it was like water. I'm pretty sure it was like hydro-powered.
What the fuck?
Dude, look it up. It's fucking. My mind was blown. Like the Coliseum alone fucking freaks me out.
The Coliseum? Why the Coliseum?
It's so fucking big. There was like little men with rocks. And they built
Yeah, I
a
guess
big
so.
Fucking thing. I don't.
Revolving dining room in. That's why whenever it's one thing that pisses me off when people like look at the 1920s and like they're so backwards. I'm like, build your fucking civilization you live in. How are they fucking backwards? They fought the First World War and invented planes. You dumb. What have you done? Eat a fucking Cheetos this morning?
I don't. Here, give me 1 second. I need to. Look, I had a bunch of Red Bull and coffee. Forgive me.
It's fine. I'm looking at the revolving dining room.
I am back, Daddy! Daddy! Daddy!
Oh my God, Zach.
John, let's do some improv right now, okay?
Okay.
Let's-
Wow. Hello. It is me. I am at the doctor's
Whoa.
office with you,
Whoa.
the doctor.
Hey, man, look, I got these results back. You got a big fucking tumor inside your brain. You wonder why you're seeing blue streaks everywhere? You wonder why you're seeing blue lines everywhere? It's because this baseball-sized brain tumor.
I thought it was the God telling me a message.
No, you're wrong. You wonder why your face jutted out 1 whole foot? It was because of this big tumor. Trust me, I am a doctor.
Wow. Am I going to die?
Oh, I don't know.
Fucking Abbott and Costello, regular Abbott and Costello over here.
That's a classic bill we just reenacted. Please help me. There's a real pain behind my eyes. Jesus Christ. All the lights I look at have a big smear to them. I think something's wrong.
Hold on. I'm looking at this water palace.
Hey, let's play a crazy sound effect. John, say it's crazy again. Let's play a crazy guitar strum.
Wow, all right, hit it up, Jack.
Okay. that's
Nice.
Yeah. Well, we've been going at this for a good while, you know, John. I appreciate
Yeah.
you being here.
Yeah.
Don't ever talk to me again. My name's Tony.
I was walking through New York City, and I saw a boy, and I said to this boy, "Where's your dada? Where's your mama?"
God, Zach,
Where's
you
your
fucking
mama?
monster, you fucking alien.
That's what I said to a real child.
Anyways, sorry, go on. What? Yeah, did you want to draw this to a close? Am I too fucking?
No. What I wanted to do was, I have a Patreon, John. So we have some questions from my patrons, and I'm just gonna go ahead And these are all, warning to you, John, these are all epic.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait.
Negative zero asks, I want John's input on this. Oh, Christ. Now, is sucking your own dick gay?
Oh, this is a question for the ages. This is honestly among the great Socratian, Aristotelian questions of our era. Does sucking your own dick make you gay?
No, is the act gay itself? Sucking your own dick is
Is
gay.
the act so does it not does it make you gay? Is the act gay?
Yes,
is it
'cause
gay?
it makes you gay.
Is it gay to suck your own dick?
Yes.
Well, you have to look into this in a multifaceted approach. One, now here's the thing: is your mouth just like a hand on your face, okay, or are you really enjoying sliding up and down on your own?
Here's my
quote-unquote
argument
cock?
for this. I'll make it real snappy, but my argument is if you can have a hard cock in your mouth and stay hard, might be a little bit gay.
But
It'd be like fucking your own ass.
But
You're
uh,
still
but it's
penetrating
not.
yourself.
But it's not gay because gay means you want another man. This is the same man.
But you're the sensation of a cock. What's the difference between that and someone? What's the difference between that and a guy sucking your dick while another guy fucks your mouth? How is that any different?
It's a little different.
I mean, on a close
There's
your
two
eyes,
more
on a-
guys.
on a
There's
sensation
not just
level.
there's not just one more, but two more guys in that scenario. It's a little bit different. I would say semi-gay. It's a semi-gay act.
The verdict is in. Jontron, there they have
Ding,
boys.
ding. We should do a segment like this where we take questions like this and we have like the verdict.
This
Ding, ding, verdict.
this segment's called the verdict. Okay.
That'd be fun. We should do that.
Cameron Dubell says, "What mentality would you develop if I told you you were going to go skydive in 5 minutes?"
What kind of mentality would I develop?
How would you grapple with this horrifying fact?
Oh, I'd be really scared. Like, that's not something I'm
I'll
cool
walk up
with.
to you right now and say, "We're going skydiving in 5 minutes, and you're gonna go."
I'd really start to like, and it's gonna happen for sure.
I'm gonna drag you.
I'd freak out. I'd really freak out. I'm not that kind
The
of guy.
verdict is in. He freaked out. That's the verdict, boys.
I'm not that kind of boy. Semi-gay. That's my verdict.
The verdict is in. Adam Medhurst asks, have you ever been caught up in a misunderstanding that made you look really bad? If so, how did you defuse the situation? Well, John.
What kind of fucking
you-
questions are these? Let me think. Yeah, misunderstanding. Too many to count. I'm trying. I can't think of a fucking example right now.
Okay, then that's the verdict, everybody. That's
Also,
the verdict. We
I
have
feel
it.
bad. I want to be yelling louder, but my neighbor can probably hear me screaming at like 11 p.m. at night. I don't want to be too loud.
That's the verdict, everybody. You have it right what you just said. That's the verdict on that one. Dougie asks, are there any pizza toppings that only you seem to like, Jontron? What's the verdict?
Wow, I really like this one. Well, actually, I'm a pineapple pizza kind of guy. Everybody says they don't like it. How do you feel on that, Jack?
If I made my own democracy, you'd have to drink from a different water fountain. That's how I feel about that one. Okay. That's how I feel about that. James McGuire. Maybe the blacks just like pineapple pizza a lot, and they're like, "What the man? We have every time we order pizza."
Pissed off a lot of white guys. It wasn't disgust. It was just mild annoyance.
It's like, dude, every time we order pizza, every time white guys order pizza, they'd be like, "Is pepperoni okay?" And the black guys always be like, "Can you have pineapple?" And then we're like, oh,
That's it. We need
just
Jim
get
Crow.
it. It's just. Guys,
I'm
if you
gonna
get a
go to hell
history
for this
test this week,
podcast.
write that down.
Right there.
James McGuines asks, if you could instantly have any job you wanted, are there any that would make you quit YouTube to take on?
Honestly, I like my job. No, I don't think I'd change it. I actually really like my job.
So you're saying you would not traverse the world?
No, man. Actually, oh man, that's a good question. I like my job fits my lifestyle well, so I don't think I like just being like able to like pop on a podcast and have people listen to what I say, so I can get my ego stroked. Not just my ego.
You like going in front of your 1UP plushie and talking about the top 10. talking about the top 10 craziest Zelda glitches.
The top 10 times the Goomba was stepped on by Mario.
Top 10. Hey everybody, Top 10 Mario, red hat.
Got him.
Got him. Hey, if you're listening, you just gotta fucking write me a letter. All right.
Oh Jesus.
Cobain Manny said, "I want to ask John if he's up to visiting Iceland and partying there in downtown."
No way. Are they gonna say Reykjavik?
Yes, they are.
I was gonna say. I was just thinking about visiting Reykjavik. I'm not kidding.
Wow, look at that.
I really wanted to visit Iceland. I don't know why. Just seems like a really interesting place,
This is
and I
an
wanted to
interesting
see
thing.
it.
He says, "I know exactly 30 people who would be willing to pay," but he says, here's the interesting part. He says,
What?
"By the way, his show is really popular in my home country. Pretty much
What? In Iceland?
Pretty much all the young adults know who he is."
Fucking what, dude? I'd come to Iceland. I'd come to Iceland straight away.
Jontron goes to Iceland. Fresh straight to DVD.
Dude, I'd go to Iceland. I've always wanted to visit.
Dude,
Do they speak Icelandic though? Do I have to speak Bjork? Do I have to speak like this one? These are the
I'm
people.
getting
The
an
people are
urge right now
coming
to
to
fucking
Iceland.
paint my face and send you an acid bomb right now. I don't know why. It's in my veins. I can't stop it.
What else you got from these lovely, lovely fucking goblins?
This comes from Isaac Perry, who says, "John, talk about the racial bell curve."
Oh my god. This is really what it says. Well, skip.
He said, he says, "John, what was your favorite joke you wrote for Jon show?"
That's not what he
Basically the
said.
same question.
I really thought that's what he said. Sorry, go on.
John, let's talk about favorite joke you wrote from Jontron.
Favorite joke I wrote from Jontron. Let me think. Oh man, there's so many.
What about the Rock Boy?
Which one?
The Rock Boy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's the one. The one.
You fucking maniac. What's wrong with
It's the
you?
one where it's a boy in a field with fear in his eyes, and you hear heavy breathing, and you see a big rock.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that's my favorite one. That one, Rock Boy. I'm gonna go with Rock Boy. That's my favorite one. I really like this one joke I wrote in the last one where I was like, "Nyuk nyuk. I'm very sorry about your cancer diagnosis." And then I hit a slide whistle. I don't know. I really like that joke, but it's fresh, so I can't judge it if it stands the test of time. I don't know. I like the end of Starrcade when George Lucas coughs up blood on a picture of me and Aaron.
That's a funny one.
That was
There was one joke you wrote in a delirious fucking state. We were both really delirious. It was like fucking 1 a.m. I think it was for.
What did we write? Oh, it was the Yoda joke?
No. It was for food games. It was one or two. I can't remember. It was whenever we had McDonald's games, and we were.
What did we write? What was it like? One McDonald, please?
No. It was the creepiest thing you've ever said before. We were both really tired and delirious, and we were like, "You're playing that McDonald's game where you're Ronald McDonald."
Yeah.
And you
Oh, I
You turned to me
remember.
really seriously. You're like,
What did I say?
you started talking about Ronald McDonald looking in a river as a little clown girl pissed in the river, and you said it really fucking seriously and creepily, and it was
Really?
it was one of the funniest fucking things of all time.
I remember. Yeah, it was like he leans down at the river and like watches.
But the way you
The
delivered
little girl
it
pissed
shows
by
up
the
my
river.
spine.
I don't even remember. I guess we were
It
just
was
tired
very,
and I was
very
just trying to think
genuine.
of jokes.
You didn't laugh either. You were like,
Really?
I saw the
I
eyes
can't
of a
even imagine.
monster.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I can't even imagine looking at you that seriously talking about that. Oh, you must have been tired. That's funny. That's my favorite joke. Little Ronald McDonald girl. Didn't we actually put that in?
No, you
Or
cut
no?
it because it was Ronald McDonald girl pissing in the river wall. You thought a little girl pissing in a river while an adult watches was a little too little too much for your crackle spot.
It's when he my crackle spot. It's when he leans down by the river and he bends down at it.
Pencil Shaving says, "Will you ever be a guest scrub?"
If they have me.
There you go. Classy as Clay says, "Are there any quote unquote dead projects you're disappointed? Never came to fruition?" I guess that's kind of similar to the regret thing, but any projects you wish would have turned out better or turned out at all?
Yeah, there have been a couple. There have been a couple of projects. You know what? I won't reveal them now. I'll have to reveal them at another time.
Okay.
There were a couple dead projects in my lifetime.
Interesting.
Rip. Sorry, I'm being the worst fucking
No,
Q&A
no,
guy right now.
We're almost done.
Yeah.
Oh, 1 sec. Oh. Yoink, yoink.
What the fuck is wrong? What did you just? Did you just go into the void?
Ultra Bondage Fairy asks, and this is for me. Yeah, he says, can you upload Dream Quest for us? I want to make some bread. That's a little reference for those who listen to my last fucking thing. I made a shitty game in RPG Maker. Yes, I'm gonna upload.
You did?
I did. I made a game in RPG Maker called Dream Quest. It was it was RuneScape with 2D. It was real.
That's
It
amazing.
was real fucking epic.
It sounds like it.
The verdict said yes. John, give us a yes.
Yes. Got him.
Costa asks, compared to before YouTube stardom, how have your life and relationships with New York and old friends / people changed? I guess the question is, how has stuff changed for Jontron?
Life changes. Life is change.
John, have you got any people from the old world trying to approach you and say, hey, I used to know you?
The old world? You mean from? What do you mean?
The old world.
What are you fucking talking about? You psycho?
Anybody from like high school or something where they're like, hey, I know you.
You mean like on the internet?
Just generally speaking, yeah.
Yeah, as far as like high school friends, to be honest, not as much anymore, especially here on the East Coast. Just like one guy who happens to live here who I went to middle school with, but that's about it.
Well, they sound like lovely folks. And finally,
Thanks, Zachary.
You know what? We close out with Clark Watcher asking, "What's your ultimate plan for your career?" That's a heavy one to end on.
Oh, that's a good one. Honestly, I just want to keep making people laugh. No, isn't that funny how people always say, oh, did I get an oh from the audience? You better play an oh sound bit. No, people always say that, but it's like, it's hard to, honestly, my trajectory is to keep going where the green is, eh? You know what I'm saying? No, but, no, but for real, like, I just want to keep being able to like I like making stuff that's true to myself. If I can make something that's true to myself, no matter what, like, even just like a podcast like this because like the worst thing is when you're in Hollywood, I feel like one of the things you're beholden to is like all these social customs and you got to be this and that. But, you know, on the internet, you can just be whatever you want, say whatever you want. It's really freeing. I don't feel like there's any amount of money that would convince me to give that up.
No, that's why part of the reason I'm doing this. I don't want to have to fucking work under, it's not even about working under people, I guess I should say. Rather, I don't like having to sort of fall into the norm of being a certain way. I like
yeah, you have to do that.
You know,
you have to do that in Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean, this podcast would not fly in a lot of circles.
No
and I'm
way.
not saying it's like crazy and edgy. I'm just saying it. I don't
never work in Hollywood again.
Person. I just say what makes me laugh. Yeah. But even people, like, I couldn't talk about this stuff if I wasn't so.
No, I don't think we could have a. It's weird though, because like we do dip in out from the new and the old, but I think it's just a lot of the. I think it's one of those things. People are fickle. When they see success, they stop caring about the means. Sometimes, do you know what I mean? Like, well, I mean true success, like positive success. You know, it's like we've shown that we can hold audiences, so that's all they care about. You know what I mean?
That's literally all that matters in the content creation.
Yeah, pretty much.
That you have an audience, that's it.
Yeah, but I mean, the way that we've done it is by doing stuff that's true to us, I think.
That's what I think. Ibra, that's all, folks.
Hey, everyone, are you still here? It's me, your crazy Uncle Zach. Okay, I just wanted to give a quick, genuine, from the bottom of my black, fucking cancerous heart, a special thanks to my patrons for supporting my ass. All of your money helped go to extra work, like the art you see, the music for the intro, all of that stuff came directly from Patreon money. So objectively, measurably, it helps. If you're interested in supporting me, you can find my Patreon at patreon.com. I know this isn't fun. Patreon.com/psychicpebbles. So that really helps. I also want to give a special thanks to Jeff Delgado for painting everything you saw on screen. Special thanks to Alan Brown for composing the music at the beginning. That beautiful fucking... tasty. And finally, special thanks to Greg Hatterman for doing the beautiful fucking British narration. You can find all of their social media links below in the description. Check their stuff out, all very talented guys. And as part of one of the perks for the top tiers for the Patreon, you're allowed to attach a little ending message at the end of every episode. And the only one we have for episode 1 is from James McIons, who says, "Can you please call my friend Carlton a squiddy fuck? Squiddy fuck. Carlton, you're a squiddy fuck. Cunt." Well, I think that's it. I hope you all enjoyed the first episode of Schmucks, and look forward to episode 2 in 7 months.